Um, let's see. All right, if you look at the stats, and if you didn't see the game, and I said they took 67 shots, we took 64. They had 39 rebounds, we had 39. They had 11 turnovers, we had 15 turnovers. They had 10 steals, we had 8. You would be like, that probably was a good game. But they made 32 shots, and 12 of them were threes, and we made 21, and that was the game, you know? And I don't think it's because our kids didn't play hard. I just think that, our reality is we're in the SEC, and it gets tough. But on the flip side, there was a lot of positives for my freshmen. And I don't think we can expect Crystal to give us a 20-point night every game. It's just getting easier to defend because if she's the only one scoring, and I'll try to see how I can be better in trying to figure out how to get us a little bit more fresher legs in the second game.
You tried to shake up the lineup a little bit at the start. Was there a message you were trying to give to?
Yeah, well, I started freshman at Missouri, too. The message is you got to play hard, and you got to be tough, and you have to be competitive. And the reality is that every night, like, we don't have a consistent group as far as bringing everything to the table. But here's what I know. I know that the people that I'm starting are bringing effort and intensity. And, I feel like that's what I can ask for and expect right now. That is an intangible.
Quarter, past 2 games have been tough, and then y'all have had times where the second quarter, after a big first quarter, you kind of come down. I mean, after 16 games, are you able to kind of pinpoint what that might be?
No, so I guess I'm not doing a good job, huh? But, we take a look at it, and we try different combinations. Like, we've switched it up and tried different combinations. I just think we get worn down. So I have some ideas of something I want to try next game to kind of see if I can keep us a little bit more fresh, and we'll see if that works.
You talked about not being able to rely on Crystal every game. Have you been able to point out what's been off about Chandrika these last 4 or 5 games? It seems like she's been shooting 20, 25.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to call it a slump. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I wish I could give you an answer. I just know that we needed to continue to be aggressive, and we needed to continue to try to look for a shot. And if she does those things, she's still playing starter minutes. I'm just trying to put her in a situation to be successful, and there's only so much I can do. And here's the thing: if some of those shots fall, then she's given us the points that maybe Crystal had, but they didn't tonight.
Anything else? Coach, you have 32 games to the ACC now for you.
Yeah.
How do you feel like your team can respond in a big way? You come in with LSU coming in Thursday.
I think that we'll come out and play hard. Again, I got to figure out. I think the way I'm going to challenge myself is I got to figure out how to keep my kids mentally fresh. And that's something that I think that I know that I'm going to try to figure out. You get what I'm saying? And see. And I have some ideas of, I know some coaches, that did some like out of the box things. You get what I'm saying? So I have to coach to this team. And so I think for me, I have to go back to my year 1 at Jacksonville and remember what that was like. Right now I'm running the program like the year 5 at Jacksonville, and I don't have the personnel. Now, Does that mean I'm going to lower my standards? Absolutely not. But the reality is I have a different personnel, and so I have to coach to that personnel. Even Coach Neighbors, when he was at Washington, they barely practiced once they got to conference. I may take that, and that team went to the Final Four. So you have to be able, when you're in a situation like I am, you have to be able and willing to think outside the box and come up with creative ways to try to keep your team motivated, and that's what I'm going to do. Thanks.
Anything else? All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.